Bestie, let's talk about what happens after the layoff. Not the crying, not the panic, but the rebuilding. I get so excited when I think about this next season of my life, of rebuilding my life. I want to share with you the exact plan that I have curated to actually rebuild my life after one of the most hardest seasons that I have ever had to endure. And this is going to be financially, professionally, and personally. Because one thing about me, I may bend, but I'm not going to break. Let's get into it. So if you are looking to rebuild your life as well, if you've had a financial heartbreak or situation that happened and now you are ready to rebuild, even if you didn't, you're like, child, I'm just ready to rebuild, then this video is for you. Make sure that you are subscribed. Share this video with your tribe, with someone who you know who's in their rebuilding system or season, so that we can do this together. I am really excited to really just come back, pop out, and do what we need to do. So thank you guys so much. Make sure you guys also like the video so that this can really grow some wings and fly. And make sure you hype the video up. Hype me up.
Hype me up. Hype me up. Hype me up. I hype me up.
That video is so funny. But I think that there is an opportunity for you to hype the video up so that it can grow legs and run. Okay, so first let me give you the history. Before I actually get into the plan, I do want to address there are a couple of people who asked me in some other videos if there's anything that I would have changed before being laid off in my financial system that I had prior to experiencing what I just experienced. And the answer to that is no. I would not have changed anything. If you haven't been here for a while, let me give you a brief summary. I first started off budgeting. I learned how to budget. I learned how to do a zero-based budget. I then went to cash budgeting. And then after cash budgeting, I decided to pay off my debt. So I paid off about $30,000 worth of debt. During that time, I was still kind of saving, but then also using cash. And once I was moving to phase 2 in my debt-free journey, I decided to start saving towards my emergency fund. And I was aggressively saving towards that before moving into phase 2 of my debt payoff. As I was doing that was when I actually got laid off. Now, let me tell you how that helped me to be successful in being laid off for a year. Number one, I was debt free. I was credit card debt free, consumer debt free, which meant that I didn't have any, I still have debt, but I didn't have that credit card debt it's annoying. Okay. And all that, like personal loans and things like that. I didn't have any of that to worry about. All I had was my household bills. So I was grateful to God for unctioning me to do that. And I'm glad that I was obedient and I went full steam ahead and I made that happen. So I wouldn't change that at all. And then from there, moving into saving towards my emergency fund. That was another unction from God where he told me, okay, now start saving. So I was obedient to that and I started saving aggressively. And being unbeknownst to me, I didn't know why, but I'm thinking like, oh, I just want to do something I never did before, even though I've had savings and I've saved tons of money before. but I was really looking to beef up my emergency fund. And so by doing those two things, number one, my credit also increased. My credit increased to a place to where I was able to obtain large amounts of credit increases that I've never had before. So then I started to educate myself about credit and how it works and how to really be successful in the credit game. So by doing those three things, paying off the debt, beefing up my emergency fund, and understanding credit, that is how I survived for 1 year straight. I had a strategy, and some people didn't like the strategy or felt as though that the strategy wasn't the best, because yes, I did use credit during my time to help me survive. But it was my journey, and that's what I decided to do. And along with that, had, my friends and family to help out, but I was able to sustain. Credit stayed intact because I now understand how to use credit. I didn't have any late bills. My bills were paid on time monthly. And yeah, God stepped in right on time. I didn't have to pull any of my investments, which is like my 401k, and now I am here to rebuild. So yes, I do have debt, and I do not regret using my debt, because had I not used it, or using my credit, because had I not used it, this story could be a lot different. So I don't regret it, and I would do it again. So that's me. I'm not telling anybody else to do that, but as far as me, I did it and I will do it again. I do believe in credit because now I understand how to use it. That's that. The only thing that I wish that I would have done differently was started to invest in more than just a 401k. That is something that I'm going to be getting into now, but I think having investments is really a non-negotiable now. Had I had investments, the goal would not have been to pull the investment, but I knew that as an emergency, I had my 401k, which that causes penalties, etc. But had I had investments, and I really don't know much about investments, so what I'm about to say, I could be very wrong, but I would have been able to pull those investments, and maybe, I don't think I would have taken a penalty or anything. I just would have been able to pull those investments and use the money if I needed to. So I would say that's the only thing that I wish that I would have done, and which I'm going to start doing now, which is investing in more than just a 401k. So I will definitely be taking you guys along that journey with me, on learning how to properly invest. There is a channel on here, Mommy Trader. I trust her, and really I'm gonna start really digging into her channel to really learn. And yeah, sometimes it's risky, I hear, sometimes it's not, I don't know, but I will be educating myself on that. So I hope that that gave some good context about what happened before the layoff, and it will definitely give some context on what I'm going to be doing during my rebuilding season. Now let's get into the strategic plan, phase 1. You guys know I love to work in phases because I don't like looking at the bigger goal, because sometimes when you look at the bigger goal, you're constantly looking at the bigger goal. You're thinking, oh my goodness, I'm never going to reach this goal. I find great pleasure and success in focusing on smaller goals that will eventually get me to the bigger goal. So you're probably going to see more than just this video with me talking about how I'm going to rebuild my life. So let's get into phase 1, which is saving. My immediate goal is to save $2,500. This is not this is kind of like a very small emergency fund. The total goal is to get 1 month ahead in my bills. But I do want to break it down in smaller, smaller bite-sized pieces, if you will. So I want to ultimately save $5,000. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to first aggressively save $2,500. Once I aggressively save $2,500, then I'm going to go into I'm going to continue with phase 1, but I'm going to implement phase 2, which is debt. It is time for me to now get rid of the debt that I was able to use during the time that I was laid off. So I'm going to aggressively pay off debt, but then I'm also going to aggressively save money. I have to do both at the same time because of the debt that I was able to use. The minimum payments alone are kind of aggressive, as we know. And so I need to get rid of that. But then I also need to save as well. I believe in having liquid cash as the emergency fund, and the goal is to get 1 month ahead initially. So I hope that that makes sense. So phase 1, saving $2,500, then implementing phase 2, which is starting to chip away at my debt, my consumer debt. That will be the phase 1 of the debt. I also have phases in my debt too, so I'll break everything down. This is just the overall plan, okay? So stick with me. I'll be getting rid of my consumer debt, which is basically credit card debt, and then also saving at the same time to reach the $5,000 that I ultimately want to save initially. That will get me 1 month ahead in my bills and my mortgage and all that good stuff. I hope that that made sense. If you have any questions, definitely put them down below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Now, I'm not going to go in detail about my debt payoff plan because I'm going to have a separate video that will explain that whole phase and process, because if I talk about it here, it'd be just way too long. Phase 3. I'm also going to be doing this alongside phase 1, saving, phase 2, getting rid of credit card debt and debt, and then phase 3 is to increase my income. In order for me to, number 1, complete phase 1 and phase 2 as fast as possible, I have to increase my income over and above what I'm making at my full-time job. So that means that I'm going to be hustling, and hustling. This is also what I did prior to. I was able to pay off my debt aggressively, and I was able to save aggressively because I increased my income. So I'm going to be doing all these phases pretty much together. Phase 3 probably should have been phase 1, because in order for me to save money as fast as I can, I need to be able to make more money so that I can save it as fast as I can. So I hope that that made sense. Basically, I'm going to be hustling, doing whatever I can to make extra money. That is YouTube, that is offering my own products that will help someone else in their journey as well. Hopefully I can pick up some brand deals and different things like that. But I'm for sure going to be looking and doubling down at how to bring in extra money so that I can get rid of these phases really quickly, or get through these phases really quickly. So the last phase is investing in my growth. I didn't mention this prior to is one of the things that I wish that I would have done prior to the layoff, which is pretty significant. But I do wish that I would have invested in my professional growth. The bottom line is I got comfortable and I hadn't updated my resume in 10 years. I wasn't really focused on my professional growth. And during that time of the layoff, I definitely invested in myself and learning more tools and learning more tools and investing in me professionally. Of course, with finishing school, I decided to really focus on me and my professional self. So phase 4 is to invest in my growth. Whenever you're comfortable at a 9 to 5, or even in your personal business or anything, if you are just comfortable and you're not continuing to grow, that means that you are really cutting off your income potential. And especially with the 9 to 5, yeah, you have your annual raises and you have the opportunity to promote and different things like that when you are continually investing in your growth. That is the one thing that I do regret. That is a regret. I wish that I would have continued to invest in myself. What I do is a natural gift from God, and I'm anointed in that area. But it is important that we continue to nurture those skill sets and things that we have and the anointing that we have on our lives. Yeah, so the Bible talks to us about being faithful over what he has given us. And in that way, he can trust us with more. He can trust us with something bigger. And I'm really going to be focused on that for my phase 4. Really growing, continuing to learn professionally, and really making those connections and looking to grow professionally. I now have that desire, burning desire. And not only will I grow in Budget Treasures, because you guys know that this is my brand, this is my baby, and Budget Treasures is me. But I'm also going to be growing professionally as well. And so that is simultaneously phase 4. So I'm going to be doing really like everything together. But phase 1 will be just aggressive, okay? I hope that that makes sense. So if you are currently rebuilding for whatever reason, I want you to know that we are not starting over. We are starting again. But this time we have wisdom, okay? We have learned so much during the time that we fell off or we lost our income or whatever it may be. We are going to take those lessons and we are going to apply them to our rebuilding season. Every lesson, every delay, every no really shaped the plan that I'm following now. And it is really going to help me to have one of the best rebuilding seasons ever. And let me just say this. I know that I said that I'm looking to pay off my debt and do all this stuff as fast as I can. But the bottom line is I'm not rushing this season. I'm taking it one day at a time, one debt at a time, $1 at a time, one budget at a time. I fall in love with the process. I say it all the time. And I do a very great job at falling in love with the process. So as far as my time frame, I would like it to be in less than a year. However, if I'm unable to do that, then I'm unable to do that. I won't beat myself up for it, and you shouldn't either. I am walking through this season. I'm being strategic. I'm leveraging my schedule. I'm leveraging others around me and definitely celebrating my wins. This is not about getting back what I lost. This is about becoming wiser, becoming stronger, and more aligned with the life that I am meant to live. So if you are rebuilding too, you are not behind. You are being prepared. Keep showing up, keep building, and stay locked in. So like we always do, if you are currently in your rebuilding season, please leave a heart down below. Or actually, no, leave some tools down below if you are currently in your rebuilding season. I want tools everywhere because we have to encourage one another. We have to help one another and just lift everyone up during this season. So I hope that this video has been helpful, and I will see you besties in the next one. Go be great. Peace out.
You're special and she reckless. Remember, you're my bestest friend. Yeah, she my bestie. My love for you is endless. Nobody else can end it. And when I get the money back, then baby girl, you can spend it. And everything is alright. I like how you doing.